If Jesus were alive today and in the United States, this administration would have already taken him and removed him from this country without due process.
What are you talking about?
If Jesus were alive today and in the United States, this administration would have already taken him and removed him from this country without due process, claimed he was a member of the MS13 gang.
Just like a woman.
Okay, boys and girls, for today's lesson, we're going to learn that there are two concepts that absolutely, apparently, do not go together. The left and sanity.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you notification of my rants, my ravings, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. It's the only way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of the Afternoon Drive. Hope Walls, the daughter of failed vice presidential contender Tim Walz, proves that, well, stupidity apparently runs in the family. Now, remember, it was a few years ago during the Summer of Love when the George Floyd rioters were burning cities down across America, which CNN declared a mostly peaceful protest. It was Mrs. Walz who said that she was keeping the windows of the governor's mansion open because the smell of burning tires was the smell of freedom. So all of the downtown businesses that were being burned to the ground, ransacked, looted, have been put out of business literally forever. People who had their life savings destroyed, their life's work destroyed, their own business, the thing that they had birthed and nurtured, watched it go up in flames. Mrs. Walz was inspired by that because that was freedom. And then, of course, we have Tim Walz, who is a proven pathological liar. He lied about his military record and the rank that he achieved. He lied when he said he was in China during the Tiananmen Square uprising. He lied about being a football coach when in reality, he's a jockstrap dad. His job was to go through and pick stuff up after the game was over as a volunteer dad. He wasn't a coach. He talked about being a big hunter, and yet when he took a camera crew with him to do a little, quail or pheasant hunting, he didn't even know how to load his shotgun. I mean, Tim Walz is an absolute, unmitigated, proven liar. He's a libloon. He is an out-of-control leftist. In Minnesota during the pandemic, he had a snitch line where he wanted citizens of his state to call in and turn in neighbors if they were outside, even in their own yards without a mask, if they had unapproved visitors over to their home. I mean, this guy and his family, to call anybody else in reference to Nazis or authoritarians or dictators, etc., 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 off the chain, just off the chain. And now his libloon daughter asserts that if Jesus Christ were here, Donald Trump would have him deported for being MS-13.
If Jesus were alive today and in the United States, this administration would have already taken him and removed him from this country without due process, claimed he was a member of the MS-13 gang.
Gentlemen, Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
It truly is baffling how clear and laid out everything is, and there is still people standing by it. I believe in the good of people and like humanity, humans, you know, deep down at our core, like we care about each other. But that's really being tested because how anyone is okay with this is terrifying to me. But yeah, if you look like me, speak up, speak out, because we might be the only ones safe from what's coming and some of the only people that are able to stop it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. And may God have mercy on your soul.
So literally, you're calling Jesus Christ and the apostles a gang that was what? Raping? Trafficking? Doing drug deals? You do know that's what MS13 does, right? And I love these people that keep wanting to throw this little term around. Due process, due process. I was talking to someone online today, and, their assertion was that even though these people are here, illegally, once they're on American soil, they get to have due process because we have a Constitution. The Constitution guarantees you and I, as actual American citizens, we get due process. There was no due process in allowing them to come in here. In fact, this guy, Mr. Garcia Abrego, the wife-beaten, gang-banging, drug-dealing, human trafficking, dirtbag scumbag, who's, by the way, not a Maryland man. He's an El Salvadorian man, and he's back to his country of origin. There's not a problem here, even though Harry Hogg thinks there is.
And you cannot defend sending people to another country.
Yep, sorry. He's back into his country of origin, and you know what? Goodbye, good riddance. But that all said, to say that Jesus engaged in those kind of activities, Donald Trump would have deported Jesus. As a Christian, I can tell you that Donald Trump is not exactly the model Christian. I do believe he is a believer. And I watched portions of the Easter worship ceremony, which took place at the White House. I believe it was on the Thursday before Good Friday. And Franklin Graham was there. Pastor Greg Laurie was there, as well as others. I'm not a big fan of the fact he's got Paula Wallace on his, the head of his faith board, or whatever it is that he calls it. But the things that the president said about Jesus Christ, in comparison to things that other presidents, especially Joe Biden, said about Jesus, it's a night and day difference. And again, I realize that a lot of it is things that Donald Trump is reading. But it shows you that he is surrounded by people who are actual Christians, who do have good theology, and they have the president's ear, which means they help guide him to make good decisions. Donald Trump would not be deporting Jesus for being MS-13. That is so ludicrous, it's so over the top, because that's all these demo slobs have left. And yes, I'm calling them demo slobs. And any one of you out there, including those who I love dearly, who are related to me, you voted for this ideal. Thank God you lost in November, but you voted for this authoritarian. We're going to allow these people to come in, invade, take, and destroy everything on the name of some type of utopian fairness. Mr. Garcia has 2 deportation orders from a court. He's had his due process. The Democrats are lying when they keep saying he hasn't had due process. He has had multiple times. The truth is, the Democrats, the ACLU, they would keep this going for the next 25 years if they could, because that's all they've got now. Every time Donald Trump does anything now, some judge steps in. Now you got judges telling him he can't scale back the size of government. He can't lay these workers off. He can't unfund this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we keep seeing the Democrats in front of the TV camera saying, we have a constitution in this country. We do not have a dictatorship. We have a balance of power. But the judicial branch does not get to control the executive branch. The only thing the judicial branch can do is declare whether or not a law is constitutional or unconstitutional. The legislative branch makes the laws. The executive branch enforces the laws. And the judicial branch tells us thumbs up or thumbs down if the law is actually legal. You have the Supreme Court saying that yes, technically there is an Enemies Aliens Act and the president can use it, but we don't like the way he's using it. See, the powers that be, the deep state, the swamp, the same group that's trying to run Pete Hegseth out of office. You know, what is it that Pete Hegseth has done? What is the big upsetting of the apple cart there? See, career politicians, bootlicking politicians who masquerade as generals and admirals and captains, etc., 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 have been allowed this system that's always been in place where you get automatic promotions based on seniority and how much kissing you have done and how well that you have stayed within the acceptable New World Order political agenda, shoving DEI down the throats of cadets and recruits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Pete Hegseth came in, he upended all of that and said, no, we're going to put actual military men and women who have been in combat and know what they're doing. We're going to put them in charge for a while, see if we can't turn this thing around. And that has the establishment screaming. And so they're trying to get rid of Pete Hegseth, and you have the judiciary is now deciding they and they alone are the only ones that can stop Trump. It's time for Trump to just flat out ignore it and keep going. Just absolutely overwhelm them. Keep deporting, keep sending the planes out. What are they going to do? And this has gotten so off the rails, off the charts. This is not about due process. This is about trying to stop what the president was elected to do. And anybody that wants to fight for a Mr. Garcia or any other MS13 gang member to stay here, fine. New law. They have to come live with you. Yeah, let's put Mr. Garcia in the house next door to Tim Walz. Deny him excess security and see how that all works out. I think we already know, don't we?